Hello and welcome to VTech. After the release of the first video, some of you have requested to share some understanding of pivot tables and how do you create a pivot table. Well, it is what we are going to cover today and as quickly as possible. All right, guys. Before we proceed, I thought it's an important bit of information I wanted to share with you. So, in this video, there are certain things that are important in terms of ensuring the pivot table provides you the correct data, and that is to do with the way the data is captured, right? So, as you can see in the next screen, the data, the way the names are written, manager one will always be written as manager one. It will not be manager, two spaces and one, or just the word manager, because it's important to use the same terms. Otherwise, like if the team A is written as team A, it should always be mentioned as team A. If you change it to team, dash A, the pivot table will not give you the correct analysis, right? So there was just a quick insert I wanted to add to this video to make sure that whatever critical fields you write, completed should always be completed and not closed or any other word for it. You have to maintain a standardized text to each column and use that, right? So I hope it made sense. Thank you. We'll continue from here. So first of all, we need to understand what a pivot table is and why is it required. So what I've done here is, as you can see on the screen, there is a list. Imagining that you are given a role to probably complete some kind of quiz for the entire organization, or for number of team members. So here's the list of about 50 team members, and now all of them have various nationalities. They're from various teams, so there are about 10 teams, and there are about 10 managers as well, as you can see here. They have various job titles. Their roles are identified as critical or non-critical, and then here we have the status for the completion of the quiz. Now, if I share this list with you and ask you questions, um, how would you how would you answer those questions? So, for example, here are some of the questions. Which is the team with the highest pending cases? Right now, if you want to answer this question, typically what you'll have to do is, if you know the basics, you don't know pivot, but you know the basics of Excel. So you would typically go to the status, and from status you will select pending, right? And then OK. So here are the pending cases. Now, uh, it's still difficult, right? Now, all of these team members, I mean, the managers are listed here. I can see that some of the team names feature, to a couple of times. For example, here, 3, 4 times. So I'm assuming it could be, team J with the highest number of pending cases. But still, that's not, we're not precise. Second highest, then again, it's very difficult to find that, right? Using just the filters, correct? So that's one use of pivot. The second one is, with the lowest pending cases, if you want to look at the data, so that's similar. The team with lowest pending cases would again be to check the other way around. That, if J is appearing 4 times, which is the team that appears the least amount of time. So again, that's very difficult to find from, by just applying a filter on table. So that's where pivot comes into the picture. When manager wise data, so if you want to look at manager wise, that we have 10 managers, how efficient are the managers in terms of getting this critical test completed. So then again, we'll have to look at how many times the manager name features here. So that's difficult as well. So I hope you overall get the idea that, job role wise or nationality wise, if you want to, identify, look at the data from various angles, from responsibility of the manager to the list of advisors who are still pending to, is it to do with, how many have completed, how many have, status wise. So if you want to look at the data, which is a huge amount of data, though this is I would still say it's not a huge amount of data. There's just 50 entries here. As you can see, they're just about 50 entries here. But imagine you have 1000 or 500 entries, and you want to give a bird's eye view of the data, right? So that's where pivot comes into the picture. So let's get right into it. How do we create a pivot table? The first step to create a pivot table is the selection. This table that you have created, you'll have to ensure that you select the entire table. So there are a couple of ways to do it. Either you can use the mouse, or you can use the keyboard and make the selection, right? So here I have selected the entire table, and then click on insert, right? And then click on pivot table. So this option is also helpful. If you notice, it says recommended pivot tables. You can use this option. This is available with 2019 version of Microsoft Excel. I'm not sure which version you're using, and I'm not sure if that's available, but definitely with 2019 you do get this feature, which provides recommendation as per the data. So Excel tries to understand what you're trying to analyze and provides some recommendations around it. But for the sake of this video, we'll go ahead with the basic one, that is, creating it from scratch. So let me select this. Yes, it just confirms when you do that, pivot table from table or range, and here's the range highlighted. So it just confirms that this is what the pivot table is going to consider as scope of the data. Okay, and then you click on OK. Right, as you can see, now we have a new sheet created here. Our data is in sheet 1, and in sheet 4 we have so that's the new sheet created, and there's a blank pivot table. Okay, now the next step is to identify, how do you want to look at the data. Okay, so let's look at the question number 1, team with the highest pending cases. All right, so we're definitely talking about the status here. So let's first drag the status of the test, which is right here. All you have to do is click and drag the status into rows, right? So now we have overall status. Now we also need a count, right? How many? The question says how many, right? So we need to identify the numbers here of pending. So the best way to do is, you can drag serial number. It will not add the serial numbers, it will count the serial number. So here it's actually added it. What we'll do is we'll quickly edit that. How do you edit this to give you the count of serial number and not add them? You can double click on it, and you'll see value field settings right here. Click on that, and now from this value field settings, change from sum to count. So click on count, say OK. Right, now we know that overall, out of the 50 advisors or employees that we have 11 of them resigned, 21 who have completed the quiz, 16 of them are pending, and there are 2 who require to, maybe they failed the first attempt and they need reset. All right, so let's look at the question again. Now we want to find out which team is that with the highest pending cases. So what we are going to do is we're going to look at the 16 pending cases and apply team names to it to get to understand which team is that. So it's very simple. All you have to do is then drag the team right under the status, right? And then under pending you have 16, and all you have to do is then go to home and sort. So you get largest to smallest, So team J is the team with the highest number of pending cases, followed by team B, as you can see, 3 pending cases, followed by team G, 2, H, 2, and then likewise, right? So that's how pivot helps. It helps to sort the data and find answers to these questions easily. Okay. Then the next question is team with the lowest pending cases. So if you want to answer that, go back to the pivot table. And as you can see, there are in fact about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams with the lowest. They all have a tie at 1 pending case each. So team C, A, I, D, and F, they have 1 pending cases each. Okay, let's look at the next question. Manager wise. So if you want to look at the data manager wise for completion, of course, we earlier looked at team wise data. So we'll take that off. And now we are going to add manager, right? So now we add manager wise data. We get to know, again, we will sort the data. So go to home and sort from largest to smallest, right? So we have manager 10 who has the highest number of pending cases, followed by manager 2, and then manager 7 and 8, right? So this answers the question, which manager wise data for pending cases. If you want to look at job role wise data, we can do that as well. So as you can see in our data sheet, we also have job role capture. So we can do that. All you have to do is remove the manager filter by just dragging it out of there and dragging the job role title, right? So as you can see, in terms of pending cases, again, all you have to do is sort the data, largest to smallest. There we go. So IT is the one with the highest pending cases as job role, followed by senior advisors, general manager, marketing analyst, and so on. Okay. And lastly, nationality wise data, if you want to look at. So of course we can add nationality as well. So let's remove the job title and add nationality, right? So there we go. In pending cases, yes, again, we'll just sort the data from largest to smallest because we want to find out which is the team with the highest number of pending cases. So that's India, followed by Philippines, and then Pakistan. All right. So yes, that's what a basic pivot is for. And I know it's a short video, but yeah, a lot of people appreciate short videos. So trying to create something, where you can quickly get some understanding of a pivot table. There are a lot of things you can do with the pivot table. You can also create, insert graphs and charts around it. But we'll do that. We'll, look at learning all of that in some other video. This one was just to show some basic and share some basic understanding around the pivot tables. Okay, so hope you liked the video, and if you do want more such videos, then please do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And for the moment, so that's all for this video in terms of pivot tables. I hope you have learned something today, and thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.